Hello there, everybody. This is Robin Link of Spiritual Perfectionist Anonymous and robinlink.com. And we're getting started a minute or two early, but I wanted to spend a little time with you talking about next year and talking about the energy for the coming week. So, you know what? Let's just get it started, all right? So, the first card that came up for the week of December 23rd, 2015 to December 30th, 2015. I can't believe we're this far into the year already. That's crazy. But the theme of the upcoming week is truth. It's the angel of truth. Okay, so, and welcome to everybody who's signed on. So the angel of truth, this is really interesting because I've been having a lot of really hard conversations with people lately, and I've been hearing something similar from a lot of people in my circle, having to have those hard conversations and being honest, and I'm going to say brutally honest, but in as loving and as gentle way as they can. But we're all kind of finding ourselves feeling pushed into this space of needing to speak our truth and of needing to speak up in ways that are really just not comfortable for us. You know, so many of us on the spiritual path, we're trying to be kind, we're trying to be compassionate, we're trying to be loving, and we associate being truthful with being harsh and nasty. You know, how many people turn around and say, "Oh, I don't want to hurt your feelings, but..." You know, or, well, you ask them a question, how does this look on me? Well, do you really want to know the truth? You know, truth doesn't have to be like that. Truth can be spoken in a kind and a loving way. It can be spoken in a non-judgmental way. And the thing about speaking the truth to somebody is also recognizing, and this is the part where as human beings we don't like this, but it's recognizing that when we don't like something, it's our problem. It's not the other person's problem. So it's not, you know, oh, you're doing this, that, and the other thing to me. It's more about, you know, when this happens, this is the way I feel. I hope that makes sense. You know, it's not like, well, when you look at me with this expression on your face, I feel like crap. No, it's more like sometimes when I'm talking to somebody, their facial expressions make me start feeling like I don't have confidence in myself. It makes me lose my confidence. It makes me start to feel bad about myself. Okay, because the thing is, everybody's just operating from the best place that they can operate from. And, you know, not everybody does do things the way that we like them to be done all the time. Heck, we don't get to do that all the time. You know, we have plenty of occasions when we're working really hard at doing something the right way and trying to say the right thing and the whole 9 yards. And then we just get one of those human moments and we just screw it all up. So again, the upcoming week, the theme of the week is all going to be about truth. So I spoke a lot about speaking your truth, but it's also being honest with yourself. Okay? So the energy that's going to be supporting us is the angel of balance. So we're going to have lots of opportunities to experience balance this week if we'll allow it. And that's phenomenal, especially when we're talking about having the hard conversations with other people and with looking at ourselves in the mirror and really being, you know, honest about who we are and stuff like that. I had mentioned that I just had a hard conversation today. And the way I keep the balance is when I'm talking about the stuff that's not working for me, I'm at the same time admitting where I see I'm not, living up to my potential. Okay, so that's one way to keep the balance. The other way to keep the balance is it's not only about, being serious and truthful, it's about letting the fun in, right? And so here's the deal. I mean, we got Christmas Day this week and Christmas Eve, and the full moon is on Christmas Day, and I think it's in Cancer. So what I've been hearing a lot of from the astrological side of things is how the full moon is about family and all that. So at this time of year, when so many of us are spending times with our family and our friends and our extended family, there's going to be a lot of truth telling, and it ain't all going to come out pretty. That's just what happens when big groups of people get together, especially family. So try to maintain your balance, because that really is important. Make jokes. Remember that when somebody has a problem, and even if they're putting it on you, it's really their problem. Okay? That's a huge thing. It's that they can't deal with it. They can't handle it. So the energy that's going to be challenging us, though, is the angel of charisma. And charisma is that energy of magnetism, right? And so the way, it's funny because I had to ask them like 3 times to understand how charisma was going to be working against us this month. But what's going to be happening is or this week, I should say, is we're going to be attracting more situations where, again, we're going to have to be truthful. We're going to have to be honest. So it's going to feel a little overwhelming, and that's why the energy is being put into the idea of that it's going to be challenging this week. So what that's going to do is it's going to make it challenging for you to maintain your balance, right? So we got truth, we have balance, and we have charisma. So I asked for one more card to just understand the overarching theme of the week. And what the angels gave me was the angel of passion. And so that's going to work for and against you. Okay, so it works for you in that it gets you fired up, and it makes it makes you feel alive when you're passionate about what you're looking at, what you're talking about, what you're feeling. But it also works against you in that the passion can make you too fired up, and you can come out sounding angry. All right, so I know I spent a lot of time talking about truth, but truth really is, in my experience that I find in working with my clients, it's a really difficult subject, especially because so many of us don't even always know what our own personal truth is, because we spent so many years trying to live up to other people's expectations and the life that they dictate for us, that we forget what our personal preferences are. We forget what our actual personality is like. We forget what our beliefs are. So this week is all about also learning that, staying in balance, by having fun, playing, lightening things up, remembering that the charisma aspect of things is just going to magnetize more situations for you where you're going to have the opportunity to speak your truth, and then just learning how to gauge your passion so that you are able to keep it from being overpowering, and so that it just helps you to remain on course. Okay, so that is the energies that we're talking about for December 23rd, 2015 to December 30th, 2015. So the other thing that I wanted to talk to you about real quick was the theme of 2016. And it sort of goes along with the angel of truth and authenticity. It's all about being real. Okay? It really is all about being real. So just as an example, I mean, I know that when I go on these periscopes and stuff like that, I'm not the most professional. I'm not the most eloquent. My talks aren't prepared. None of that, right? Because it's really important for me as a teacher, a healer, and a coach to be authentic and be real, and for you guys to see that all of us, we have real lives. Right? We have struggles. Just because we understand what to do and we have tools and everything else that helps to make things better and helps things to move easier, we still have regular human struggles. The difference is, because we have the tools and because we teach this, and if we're being real, is we are usually a little more able to move through it faster than maybe somebody who doesn't have the tools. But that's it. I mean, we're still human. Getting on this spiritual path, man, it does not mean that everything in life is easy and simple. It's what we work towards. It gives us the tools so that we can handle it with ease. It gives us the tools so that we can create with more ease, but it doesn't mean that bad crap is not going to happen, okay? And that's what I'm talking about with being real this year. And for most of you who are watching or on the spiritual path, you have to understand that this coming year really is about being real and walking our talk. It's no more about preaching and not living what we're teaching. Okay? Look at me, I rhymed. Such a dork. As I just threw myself right out of my channel here, so I'm going to pop back in. So yeah, I mean, like, there's a lot of people who are trying to make it in the business of healing, in the business of being a reader, in the business of being a coach, in the business of, did I say healer already? In the business of being a healer. You know, so many people are trying to do this. And we'll talk about a spiritual teaching and a spiritual truth and something that we really think that we believe in, and then we'll negate it with our next sentence or our next action. So we are really going to be pushed, I guess you could say, influenced maybe, into an area where it's really necessary to cultivate a deeper self-awareness. Because if something isn't working for you this year, especially if you're doing this on a professional level, it's because you're out of alignment, and that misalignment is going to show up stronger, harder, faster. It's going to hit your money flows. It's going to hit your relationships. It's going to hit all of that stuff. It's going to hit your family life. And I'm not saying this to be like a harbinger of doom, right? I'm just talking about this because when we sit there and we go, I don't understand, I'm praying and I'm doing everything right and everything is still crappy and I can't handle it and what's going on? You need to be really, 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 really diligent and look at where your actions are not lining up with what you are preaching. It really is the year of walking your talk, okay? And nobody can do it freaking perfect. Which is why I created this Facebook group, Spiritual Perfectionist Anonymous. Like that segue? That was a really good segue. It is a free group, by the way. Anyway, the point is, nobody can do it perfect. But you want to do it as close to accurate as many times as possible. And what I mean by that is you want to be aligned with your words as often as possible. So if you are going to teach self-love, then you have to remember that when somebody does something for themselves and they don't think about you, they don't include you in the mix, sometimes in order for a person to treat themselves in a loving way, they have to not think about what other people's feelings are going to be. And that's really hard. But sometimes you're going to have to make choices that aren't going to sit well with other people. What you have to do in that case is trust that the reason that this is happening is not only for your growth, but it's for theirs as well. Now, that doesn't mean that you just go off and not think about other people's feelings ever. But it is about sitting there and going, is this the most loving action I can take for myself? And is there an action that I can take that will be loving to me and that will be also a positive contribution to the other people in my circle? Sometimes the action of leaving the circle is the most loving action that you can take for yourself and for them. You can't force the people that you're with to understand it. So 2016, that's it. It's all about being real. It's all about being aligned. It's all about really and truly walking your talk to the best of your ability. And the thing is, even if you're not perfect at it, which nobody's going to be, it's admitting where you're not being perfect. It's acknowledging where you're not being perfect and not beating yourself up about it. It's like, oh, look at that. I just said that I'm going to love myself this year, and I just stuffed my face with ice cream to kill my body. Oh, good. That was not in alignment with my wishes, with my dreams, with my words, with my teachings. Okay, thank you for showing me that. All right, and move on. So hopefully that makes sense to y'all. So, just a real quick reminder again for the upcoming week. We're talking truth, going to have lots of opportunities to be truthful with ourselves and have truthful, honest conversations. Balance, we do have that energy supporting us, so the energy of balance and that lightening things up and letting us have some fun. We got charisma, so working kind of against us, which means that we're going to have like a whole lot of opportunities to really look at ourselves and discover what our truth is and to have those hard conversations. And then the passion is the energy that can be working for us or against us. So it's to really monitor your passion and just notice when your passion is more about being angry than just having strong feelings and a strong belief in something. And then for 2016, it's all about really walking your talk. Being, being real with who you are, being really, 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 really self-aware so that you can see where your actions aren't aligning with what you think your beliefs are and with what you're teaching. And that is really going to be a huge thing. Because if you are not, if you're kidding yourself about it, if you're ignoring yourself about it, you're going to have a more difficult year than other people. I mean, that's the bottom line, because this really is about teaching that this year, teaching self-awareness, teaching you how to be real, be you, and being okay with it. You're not going to like all aspects of yourself, so what? So what? You don't have to like every single aspect of yourself, but honor it because it is a part of you. You don't want to start beating the crap out of it and beating it down, because then you're beating yourself down. Those parts, those habits of yours that you have that you don't like, well, they're a part of you that separated from the space of love and divinity. And punishing them is not going to create a healing. It might beat it down into submission, but it's not going to create a healing, and therefore it's not going to create love. So with that, I just want to remind you to check out on Facebook, Spiritual Perfectionist Anonymous. It's a closed Facebook group, so that means that you can see the members that are in it, but you cannot see our posts in the newsfeed unless you are a member. We're small, but we're supporting each other on learning how to be human and integrating our human self and our spirit self. I like to call it learning how to be an infinite being with a human body. And it's just an amazing group. We have a theme every week. We do not allow advertising and all that kind of stuff. So we're really growing the community slowly but surely, and it's loving and it's supportive. And, you know, I would love for you to check us out over there. All right, everybody, have a great week. I am Robin Link. My website's being rebuilt, but you can find me at RobinLinke, RobinLinke.com. So have a great week. Thanks for being here. Thanks for listening. And I love you all. Happy holidays. Bye-bye.